I really love that book, Steal Like an Artist. I don't know if you guys have heard that book, or read that book. I just love that idea that like there's no real original idea. We're always pulling something from other places. Latter-day Saint theologian Adam Miller, love his writings, and he talks about in his book Letters to a Young Mormon how you need to translate the scriptures for yourself. Like Joseph Smith was always translating. He was translating the Book of Mormon. He was translating the Bible, like basically his entire life as a leader. He was always doing that. And I was just thinking about that. I was just sort of pondering that idea that like translation was important, and that I think Adam Miller says like the Book of Mormon needs to be your own Urim and Thummim. You know, we've heard we need to liken the scriptures to ourselves, but I really like that idea of translating it again for myself. And then that also made me think of just kind of the creative process of learning an instrument and deciding how to interpret a piece. I felt when I graduated with my master's degree, I should have been really confident about how to interpret things, but I sort of got to the point where I didn't have teachers, and I thought, oh man, I'm gonna go present something and I haven't had somebody okay it. You know, that was like really frightening to me at the time. I didn't feel confident about making that translation of like a Beethoven sonata or a Bach sonata all by myself. I felt like I still needed an outside influence. In mainstream classical music training, the way that most all of us are trained, it's kind of this game of telephone. Like my teacher teaches me a piece, so I'm going to play it a little bit like my teacher. They got their ideas from their teacher before them, their teacher before them. At some point, they knew the composer or something like that. Like there's this chain. And there's a lot that's great about that. You do get these great insights and techniques, and you have to have that. But in early music, they kind of threw out that model and instead decided, let's go straight to the primary sources. Let's go to the treatise. Let's get the same materials, the same instruments, and see what we can produce that's new. So all these ideas were swimming around. Adam Miller, not having the confidence when I was younger to make my own translation, and then this idea of like historical performance where you go back to the primary sources of playing, not just the game of telephone. And I just started realizing, like, at this point in my life, that's what I do. And it's like my favorite part of the artistic process, and my favorite part of preparing a recital or a recording is, finding the materials, like going into the music, the written music, things I know about the composer, my own feelings. Like style is, at the end of the day, style is you, style is what you bring to something. And then believing in that. The subtitle of the lecture is "The Violin is a Seer Stone." I think I pick up my violin and I feel like I'm looking through this lens at the whole, the world, at emotion, psychology, religion, spirituality. David Foster Wallace says, like, fracture reality in my own way, I'm excited about talking about it with the students here. I feel like that's what I'm trying to do as a teacher. I'm trying to get my students to believe that they can make their own translation, that it's not like you need to wait till a certain point of expertise where you can do it. I think that process actually gets you to that point of expertise.